been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to work. Heidi and I, since we cut our trip down at the house here by quite a few days, I didn't get a chance to look at this side of the RV. Heidi and I are in agreement that it's this side of the RV, but one of these axles were locking up with the brake. Even though my brake setting inside the truck had never changed, I had it set kind of high on our last trip. I had it set up like on 10 as far as the brake gain. Even though I backed it down to 7, which the brakes are still doing a good job, 1 would still lock up if I got onto the brakes kind of fast. So I have to look in here and see what's going on, but I don't know which one it is. In our clearing out of the house, the garage, all that stuff, unfortunately, I got rid of a lot of the wood that we had laying around. I had 2 pieces of wood, specifically the right size, the right everything for this bottle jack to work. As I had it jacked up and supported with jack stands whenever I went and got the Goodyear Endurance tires and got rid of the factory Castle rocks that were on here. I burned it. I burned the wood. I told Heidi, I said, "Oh, we're idiots." She goes, "What?" I said, "Remember when we were burning all that wood? We couldn't figure out what it was for, and there were scraps laying everywhere." I said, "Well, we burned that." So, what's up with Heidi? I don't know if you can tell. Heidi's over there at the parts store, and she took her electric bike. I needed some gloves, and there's these one glove, brand of gloves that are incredible, that they are incredible gloves. And this place, CarQuest, is the only one that have. Heidi didn't even carry it, even though they own, Advance Auto Parts owns CarQuest. Advance Auto Parts couldn't get these gloves. You could only buy them at CarQuest. So she's seeing if they're available, because since the whole COVID thing happened, those people over there have been sold out of gloves and masks for long periods of time. So, all right, Heidi's calling me. That's why she's waving. Let me see what she wants. Okay, so we're not complete idiots. I went ahead and cut these pieces of wood apart, or cut them apart. I went ahead and took them apart with the screws that were holding them together. So it gave me a good base piece, but I'm not a complete idiot. Thank God. There's the block of wood. Like I said, this is the perfect size block of wood to go up in and fit right on the frame, right where this jack needs to go. It is getting smashed though. I might have to make another one out of another treated piece of wood. Yeah, we'll worry about that some other day. Here's the deal. I got underneath, I checked all the voltages going to the brakes. They seem normal. The truck's hooked up, so we went ahead and screwed around with the brake controller inside just to see if there was something going on there. There's definitely a difference between the right and the left side. I checked the left side. Again, the wiring over there looks great. Now the left side is where the wire from the brakes from the front of the RV, that's where it comes in at. So the left side is seeing the voltage first, and then it's coming over here. The front right on here had a flat spot. I mean a full-blown flat spot on the brand new Goodyear Endurances, which isn't a bad thing because now we have plenty of miles to level all that out. But the back one had a little bit of a out of balance on it, or an out of round, but not much. But definitely the front one has a flat spot on it, the front on this side. So we couldn't really find anything. I took the wheel and tire off. I took the drum off. I looked at everything in there and it looks really good. So I backed the adjuster way off, and we'll see what happens. I honestly don't know what could have happened to cause it to start locking up. Let's see, when we went to Ruff's RV, It didn't lock up. Not that I can remember. Do you remember it locking up? Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, that's something that I would go, oh man, I need to look at that. And
Where did we go before this last trip?
Kenisee.
That had to be it.
Did it do it then?
Well, it didn't just do it last time. It did it before.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it was coming back from roughs, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But it didn't. It actually didn't it do it when we left here
When?
to go to Kenisee?
Yeah, I think it might have.
And then it never did it after that.
Yeah.
But then it did it a few times, going and coming back.
So you know what everybody in YouTube is saying right now?
Just keep driving.
You just need to drive that thing. And I have no doubt that it's got a lot to do with the fact that it's been sitting.
Get a flat tire.
You want to get a flat tire?
Or a brake.
Yeah, you get an axle.
Everything.
Yeah, have to get a whole new axle and all that stuff.
And it blows up the tire.
Yeah.
The tire.
And then when it's burning, it catches the refrigerator on fire because there's propane there, and then the whole thing burns. And then I'll stand back, and I'll tell you, I'll immediately, right after fire's over, call the fire department. I got some kind of fly-in today, because that's the 4th plane that just flew over. So I'm not sure what's going on. They all look the same. Look like a bunch of puddle jumpers. So, as far as we know, that truck's the loudest truck in this city. And it's the biggest piece of shit. So anyways, yeah. Good thing I have these tools. And here comes another one. So this is the 5th one. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure where they're going to, but they all look the same. They look just like that. I don't know anything about aircraft, but those planes are identical, every one of them that's flown by. A balsa plane? Balsa is, I don't know. Balsa, I thought, is what you had the rubber band propeller toy plane made out of, which they look like that. So anyways, that's what we're doing, and tomorrow is when we leave and go up to the park. So I don't know, maybe we'll find out what this is like this evening. We could. Heidi rode her bike. You seen that? Was it exciting?
It was exciting.
Oh, I knew she had a thrill going on there. Yeah, I don't want to do any more on this. I think I agree with you guys that are out there all chanting, just drive it, just drive it. I think we just need to drive it. Actually, the bit that we drove it, even coming back from, well, on the way to Hartville, it got a little better. On the way back from Hartville, it acted up immediately, then it got a little better. So I think it's just a matter of driving it. I think all that stuff needs to move around in there. So we'll just ask Heidi, should we just drive it?
I guess so.
Yeah, she don't want to. She wants me to take it all apart and rebuild it all.
That's not what I want you to do.
Yeah, I'm not rebuilding all that.
I see it in the future.
Here's the thing, if you guys don't know, maybe some of you aren't mechanics, it is 60 times easier, 60 times easier to fix a problem that you know than it is to troubleshoot and try to figure out a problem. I'm really good about being able to identify stuff that's wearing wrong or is lined up wrong or not moving correctly, stuff like that. But to troubleshoot and try to find an intermittent problem or something that shows up at a weird time. The thing is it doesn't lock up the brake all the time. It only locks it up when that guy engine brakes. So it is all the time. So anyways, it only locks up whenever I really get on it, and usually at a slower speed. No, we were a little bit faster that one time. I don't know. I just loosened the wheel, the brake up that's got the flat spot. Maybe that one just over adjusted for some reason. Not sure. We're gonna find out. Well, there's number 7. They're definitely having a fly-in or a club thing or something. I don't know. They're the RVers of the sky. They're just in little pop-ups. It's like a pop-up get-together. I don't know. Hell's Angels. Look at this. They're all over the place. They're attacking. They're bombing. They're definitely having a fly-in somewhere. So those other guys must have been early birds. That's all I can guess. Bombardier the pilot. Bombardier the pilot. Drop. 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 That'd get one way to get our house taken care of, huh? Yeah, I don't know what those things are. Yeah, it could be. So anyways, I'm up here on the roof and I'm looking at this. Isn't this a little delight, huh? Might want to wonder why that's happening. Because water's just going to be sitting there. Good thing we have toppers. Back here, it's not so bad. Yeah, actually back here is really good. But yeah, I was always concerned about this. This is Magic the Gathering. I mean, a gathering of the fabric. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like we need to get in here, hide, and clean the crap out of the tops of our slides because they're dirty. Yeah, what do you think? How do you make sure I don't fall? But yeah, this is definitely a place where water. All I'm going to do is just take die core and load it up here. Like this is all up. The roof is up there too. I don't really see any other places like that. Just that. It happens. The wardrobe? It's so little. I doubt it. But good call. Oh, we got a couple more stragglers. Go get my gun. They done bombed us. I'm gonna get back. There goes Heidi. Told her to go ride her bike. She says, should we charge it? I said, you need to ride it before we charge it some more. There's supposed to be some sort of a battery learning process or something. So she needs to go do that. But she is. Yes, she don't have a helmet. That's right. We're still shopping for helmets. Yes, she could wreck right now and hit her head. I'm just letting you know. We know. We definitely know. And there she goes. I cranked it up. Look at it go. Whee! She flying. It does 25 miles an hour now. Did you honestly think I wasn't going to do the speed hack? Which is nothing more than taking it off of its class 2 setting or whatever. Which is, it's just in the software. It's not like I did anything. That'll be later on down the road. I'll be putting big batteries on it and big motors. No, we'll just ride these. So let me clean up. We was thinking about throwing some stuff in the back of the truck. I know you guys saying, just somebody had said, it was a good comment. It said, just put all your stuff in storage and just take off and go. And when you come back, you'll know what you need. It is in storage. This is all in storage here. We know we need this stuff, but then again, it's like, all right, we're not getting rid of our storage. We already paid for our storage, so why not use it? And when we know for sure that we could just take off and go, we'll do that. But like I said, there's a couple things holding us. Well, the windows, I totally forgot about the windows on the RV. That was another thing that was holding us back. We needed to get the windows installed. We figured that if they came in when we were already gone, then they would just have to hold them until we got back. The parts guy up there, he said, hey, if you guys are in Florida and they come in, maybe we'll just ship them down there and have them installed by a dealer down there. regardless, those are going to get fixed. But the main thing that's holding us right now from just taking off and leaving is obviously all the stuff needs loaded in the truck. But more importantly than that, I'm waiting for my bike to be delivered. So I got to find out what the delivery date is going to be, the approximate delivery date. And if it's far enough out, then of course we'll just change the address that it's going to and have it shipped somewhere else. But yeah, it's nice. We were just looking over this, and Heidi says, I think everything will fit in the back of the truck. And I think it's because it's spread out. It looks like it. I don't know. We should find out. But we're not going to find out this trip. We're going to keep you guys hanging on just a little bit longer. And the only reason is because we know that I would just be traveling heavy, that's all. And there's no sense in it at this point. And we are coming back and going to a local campground after this. And again, it's because we're waiting for the bike to arrive. Even though it hasn't shipped, the ship date is supposed to be relatively soon. So they say. And the stuff that I just don't want to haul around all this stuff in the back of the truck at this point, you know, for no reason when we're going on local trips. That's why. All right, so I got one little project finished today. So we have the cable port going in there. I put a piece of plywood on the back side, and we have some change of plans here. Nothing drastic. Like I said, we were going to Kenisee Lake. It's about an hour and 15 minutes to get there, something like that. But I don't know if you can tell, it's gotten really humid and the skies are starting to cloud up a little bit. So I asked Heidi to check the weather, and she said, yeah, there's rain in the forecast. Not a lot of rain, but nonetheless, there's some rain in the forecast. So what does that mean? Well, we reorganized in here. Oh, I'll tell you what we're going to do. If you guys missed out on this, I forgot. Heidi, I always tell her to put this little cap on here just to make sure. So the grill that came with the RV and that table that came with the RV and that engine breaker that came with a butthole, I mean, never mind. Anyways, the table that went here, that frame that mounts here, the grill that mounts to the frame, and then the hose that connects to the gas line down below. You can see that there. Bugs. They are all going to go bye-bye. Heidi's going to clean them up when we're up at the campground. And because I asked her, I mean, my preference was the grill on the RV and that using that table for like a food prep, because I could, you know, we could use the gas. Thing is, I don't cook. I'm not the one cooking. Heidi is. So I asked her, I said, which grill do you prefer? And she said the Weber Q. If you guys don't, I did a review on this in the past. The link's down below. But go back and look at the review. We had a Weber grill, then we bought a Jumbo Joe. We loved it because we love cooking on charcoal. The Performer series, that was charcoal. We sold that at the yard sale. We sold the Jumbo Joe at the yard sale, but we went ahead and got this just for convenience. You know, here's an extra propane tank. I have a hose somewhere. I hope that's in there. Yeah, there we go. The hose for it. So we can cook a lot using that grill. The thing is now, you know, I kind of need an extra propane tank handy to use the grill. Not a big deal. I don't mind that. We're going to be carrying a couple of extra one of these anyways, you know, this one and another one. But I could always retrofit, and instead of this hose, have the one that hooks on outside here. But it'd have to be a really long one, because Heidi likes to put the grill on the picnic table. You know, kind of watch whenever you're doing a picnic table cook, because it does splatter and put a lot of grease, even though it's got a little grease catch tray. Just, you know, for the next person. Heidi's bike, this is what it looks like in here. And like I said, you can see kind of how much room it takes up. I don't have it mounted very well in there. It is mounted, but it's not mounted very well. I mean, it's secure. It's not going anywhere. But I think that I could do better. And I think there will be a solution here. I think this will come into play at some point, and where we keep it. I have a feeling that I think this might be kept inside the truck, in the back of the truck. I'm talking the crew cab. Again, the bikes could go in the crew cab. We still might do that. I mean, it'd be kind of nice if you think about it. We could drive our truck. Let's say we were in Seattle. We were camping. I'm just picking a place, guys. If we were camping in a campground in Seattle area, and when we got to Seattle, the campground was, let's say, 45 miles or 40 miles from some place that we could ride our bikes and explore the whole city. Well, they would already be on the truck. We could already have them in the truck here with the front wheels off. Once we got to the city, we could pay for parking, park the truck, secure it, and then we could pull our bikes out and go, ride our bikes. So that would be kind of nice instead of them being in the back of the truck. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, you want to talk about having PTSD about something? I want to make sure there's no way in the world those handlebars can go over and hit the glass. the RV spare tire's in the way. The rack is up against it, so it'd be kind of hard for it to hit. I don't even know what it would take for it to hit, tell you the truth. But yeah, that's going to free up, once we get rid of this grill, and I said again, the table and the mount and the hose that goes for these Rockwoods, or pretty much any RV if you have that kind of mount on the side. Once that's gone, it left us more space up here. That way we can put the chairs in here. Heidi likes having the chairs relatively close. You can see here, it doesn't make a difference how we get these things in here. There's always something. Look at that, dented the door. From, these chairs are awkward. Heidi's even said, hey, let's give up the chairs. We love these chairs, but it's a possibility because we have a folding chair that we can use, and that one's easier, it's smaller, takes up less space. We beat it up. It's inexpensive, so there's a good chance that maybe we'll get rid of our gravity chairs. I mean, it's hard to say. We could always buy that stuff again if we're finding that we're lacking it. I know Heidi likes those chairs. I like those chairs, but for the amount of effort that it takes to do stuff with them, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. So for the most part, the tools stay here. The Blue Boy stays here. The picnic table cover stays here for now, and this other stuff just staying here until we get back. And I'm charging this battery. Oh, it's already charged. Good, because this is the battery that puts our stabilizer jacks up and down with that drill. So this bag will go with us. All right. Heidi's battery's on the maintenance learning charge, so we'll let that go. Yeah, I told Heidi, I said, I don't know. I said, we could just go and stay the night at a rest stop or a truck stop on the way up. It's like I said, it's an hour and 15-minute ride. No, we'll drive for 40 minutes. Maybe we decide to pull over then. Oh, I just realized something. Not that she mentioned anything, because she didn't, but I know that I need to make room for her car. The car is coming in. Waving her in. Come on in. In the information as far as 1,000 Trails is concerned and what they wanted for my, I've got a 30-foot trailer, so I put 30 foot down. I've got 2 slides, so I put 2 slides down. I don't have pets, so I put no pets. I don't have kids, so I put no kids. I mean, you get the idea. So whenever I made the reservation the last time at Kenisee, I had called up and asked the question. I don't remember what it was, something small. And she said, well, you come in, you check in, you have to still come and check in physically. And I said, yeah, that's what we did last time. And she said, then there's, we have you on site number blah, blah, blah. And it's a seasonal site. And it will be $4 a night for you to stay, because it's a 50 amp site, because we have to set you up with what your rig says. I said, well, I don't need a 50 amp site. And she seemed to get confused or upset or something about it. I'm not sure. But this time I went ahead and made the reservation, and I changed all the information on my unit to say 30 amp. So we'll have to see what happens when we get up there. We're stopping at a rest area. It's not that far. This is the one we stopped at the last time we had gone. Why did we stop the last time at this rest area?
It was after we washed
the truck, right? Well, anyways, it's across the street. Heidi will show you here. It's kind of a weird thing. You gotta basically make a left across 2 lanes of traffic into it. But people do it all the time. We're having a problem with our front right tire still skating along, squealing, locking up before the rest are. I'm not sure why. I have no clue why. The thing is parking's okay here. I mean, it's pretty decent, this whole setup. I like it. I mean, I knew this place was here because the last time I thought, this would be a nice place to stay at. So that's what we're doing. We're staying. So I'm gonna have to stay to the left. We gotta worry about our steps to some extent. Good morning, YouTube, and what a nice night. We had a little bit of rain. It wasn't horrible, but both Heidi and I found ourselves lying in bed getting ready to fall asleep, and it must have been maybe 8:30. Yeah, probably 8:30. It wasn't very late at all. So I had got up to go to the bathroom, and I was thinking, well, it's a little early still. We could potentially start rolling if we wanted, and I had my eyes kind of closed. I'm like, all right, I need to use the bathroom. And then I came back and Heidi said something to the effect of basically what time it was. And I'm like, it's only 1:44. We had 5 hours of sleep, and sometimes we can exist on that. So I just heard Heidi popping in. Oh, there she is. So Heidi's how long have you been up now?
6 something.
Yeah, I fell back to sleep. It took me, I was awake from 1:32 to 2:47, around that time. And I finally fell back to sleep. And then I woke up about the time Heidi got up, I think, and then I fell right back to sleep again. Welcome to the bathroom, guys.
It's like a selfie.
Yeah.
Everybody takes selfies in their bathroom.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Have to make the fish face. So we are heading out eventually here, but we don't have to be at the campground that's only 22 minutes away for 4 hours. We have 4 hours for check-in, a little bit less than that now. We do have a tractor trailer that moved in just now behind us, and there was a motorhome that came in at some time in the night. It's way down at the end there. This is a very nice rest stop. It's quiet. It's very peaceful. When we first got here, it was Saturday night. Obviously, now we're Sunday, and there were some Harleys here. I don't know what they were doing down there revving their engines. I'm not sure. Maybe they're having engine problems. I don't know. But they left. They came in, and then they took a break of some kind, and then they left relatively quick also. But we ran the generator all night long on economy mode. And the only reason is that I've never tested these MaxxAir fans and how much draw they have, even though we have 2 deep cycle lead acid batteries, or I should say marine batteries. They're both interstate batteries. I don't know if I ran that MaxxAir fan on high, if it would, I don't know how much drain it would cause on those 2 batteries for 7 hours, 8 hours. It was a little warm in here last night initially, but it dropped down. What we did was we ran the MaxxAir fan on like the 3rd highest setting, and then we left the bedroom window open, and then we have another fan, a tower fan that we ran on oscillating, and it got pretty cool in the night. I mean, it got down to where it was 50 something in the room, and I was sleeping very well. That's a little bit humid because of the rain, so even though we were were cool, we're nice and cool, there was a clamminess that was involved there. So we're gonna have to look at running our dehumidifier a little bit more, maybe in the room when we're in there. And I thought at one point to turn on the air conditioning to get everything dried out, because that takes the moisture out of the air right away. Again, this is something that's the Northeast for sure, and I know the southern states are like that to some extent. But it's strange because it's not hot enough to run the air, but it's nice to run the air to get the moisture out of the air. So it's furnace, air furnace. Weird situation. So Heidi, when we came in last night, she microwaved up a meal that she had already prepared, that she already cooked in her Instapot the night before. And that's what I was talking about in the video, saying, hey, we're just going to go out and get something to eat, because we kind of ran into a time frame that just didn't work for us. And she saved the meal. So we microwaved that. Of course, the generator can handle all that. Heidi got up this morning, made coffee. I mean, it's nice to have back there. And I bet I hardly used any fuel. I mean, it was on economy mode most of the night, most of the time. I mean, it's running now. I don't know if you can hear it. There's a slight rumble that comes through. And
I can hardly hear it at all.
Yeah.
Especially if you're up here.
Oh, yeah, in bed. Yeah, especially when we had, you could hear more definitely from the ceiling, the Max Air fan and the box or the tower fan.
Kind of cancels it out.
Yeah, it cancels it. It really can't hear much of anything at that point. So this is the place that we spent the morning and last night, obviously. And you can see how you got to kind of cut across the road there. I have a little clicking in here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's a little bit noisier than I prefer. It's in the door. Must be the latch. Actually, I think it's the hook. That's what it sounds like to me. Oh. It's this here. It's hitting it. So we're pretty much done with this today. So I'll go ahead and put all this stuff away, tighten it down, take and disconnect the electric line. I can just throw the 30 amp cord back here. You can tell a lot of trucks park here because there's divots. That's the other thing. Man, this is the most level I think we've ever slept. At least it seems like it to me. And then there's a motorhome down here. It looks like they're up and about. I'm not sure why this truck would be here. It's a day cab, unless he goes to work and then he comes in here and takes his morning cleansing or something. There's people like that. I used to have people that I worked with and worked for me. I'm sure Heidi did too. She mentioned it a few times. Just drive me crazy. They'd come to work and then they would take their dump as soon as they got to work. You know, they'd go in the bathroom and do their morning routine. Heidi had one girl that used to put on her makeup in the morning after she got to work. I mean, it's work. You've clocked in. And it's the same, you know, going to the bathroom, spending 15 minutes in the bathroom, then coming out saying, okay, I'm going to go to lunch now. Oh, man, I don't know. So this is Route 11. And although it doesn't look like much out here, I want you guys to be careful when you travel Route 11. Because Route 11, for whatever reason, not this section so much, but there's other sections, there's lots of accidents. And I think it's because there's just nothing going on the road, and it's usually just straight. And it's 70 miles an hour out here, and it just looks unassuming. And I don't know, that's what I'm guessing, is that it's just straight and people just lose their attention. I don't know if you guys know this. It's not like I'm trying to give you some kind of PBS special here or anything, but that's why the Autobahn, whatever it's built, you know, the Autobahn in Germany, where there are no speed limits technically, it has, you know, gradual curves and stuff like that to keep you engaged as you're driving. That's just one of those things that are engineered into it so that you don't fall asleep because you're bored. You've been going straight for hundreds of miles. So I'll show you part of the drive here. You can see it's downhill a little bit, and then a little rise and little turns. Like I said, Route 11 is pretty boring. I'm sure it could get icy and nasty, but it's pretty boring for the most part. And this is for everybody that likes to see this kind of stuff. This is the towing. Right now, I just went ahead and dropped it to manual, to 9th. Got the cruise control set at 64 there. Got a cop up here. Heidi will indicate on the screen for me. If you see a blue light out in the distance there. We did just have somebody pass there, and people do speed on Route 11. Lots of people speed on Route 11. So the whole thing is that we get the diesel crowd that still tells me that I need a diesel for these kind of drives, which I think is hilarious. You know, 80% of the roads in this country are not 5% grades, you know, or 3% grade. So I'm not sure why you would need a diesel, but oh well. Here, I'll let Heidi film the Smokey the Bear. It looks like he's servicing one of, oh no, it doesn't look like he's doing anything. He's just sitting
Camera, maybe.
Yeah, that could be. Not sure why that is.
That was weird.
Unless he had somebody pulled over, but usually they don't turn that
That
far
was
sideways.
super weird.
Why?
Why would you see his handcuffs in the window?
I don't know. Why?
That's weird.
What do you mean his handcuffs are in the window?
I seen his handcuffs about right here.
Oh, because they hang them on the dummy light.
Oh.
Yeah, they
okay.
hang 'em
I
on
never
that
saw
dummy
him
light
before, so.
So they can reach in and get them relatively quick, I think. So Heidi thought that was conspiracy. She thought it was X-Files. So anyways, this is the kind of drive that we normally deal with here. And it's, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, we've been through hills and stuff, and I understand that you might get in a situation where you need a diesel, but I just don't see it. I mean, I've talked about that in the past, yet it seems like that we get some newbies, maybe, to the channel that still have that whole, hey, I need a diesel to pull a trailer attitude. You know, it's funny because you have the extremes. I believe this truck is kind of an extreme for this trailer. However, we got people that want to pull this kind of trailer with an F-150 and have 100 or 1,500 pounds worth of stuff in the bed of their truck too. Then you get guys that do the exact opposite. They want to have, you know, F-450 to pull this trailer. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have an F-450, but it's overkill for this. And the price jump, again, the price jump. You know, our gas was a $1.94 that I filled up with. My oil change is like $42 to do it myself.
If that.
Yeah, and I'm going on the high side there. That's not on sale. And, you know, I saved $8,000 off the retail price or the MSRP or whatever, going with a gas engine. All for the, you know, I don't have to deal with DEF and all that other crap, expensive maintenance. You know, that could happen anywhere, but it seems like the diesels, they have a little bit of a kicker always thrown in there regardless. So I really, again, the gas versus diesel, I just don't see it. Of course, the gas mileage is not as good as a diesel. But the amount of driving you'd have to do is crazy to get that savings back. You know, to make up all that money that you're outlaying every day you drive it, because diesel costing more, and every oil change costing more. Yeah. And again, I don't know if you guys know this, but this new engine, it's a commercial engine. It's made to go a lot of miles. There's a lot of stout built into this engine. And even the oil changes, they're 10,000 mile intervals. Now, I won't do my oil changes 10,000 mile intervals, but you could if you wanted to. So it's not like I'm doing more oil changes, even though it's cheaper. It's just not feasible. Even if we got a heavier trailer, you know, I would still use this truck for the time, you know, to see what it was like and see how much I would need something else. But we'll run with the system that we have now, the setup that we have now, and at that point determine if we need it or not. I mean, it's really tough to say without actually hitting the road and putting a lot of miles on the road. Like I said, I'm sure the gas mileage will be rough. Mixed driving. Some of that was towing, some of that was just city driving. Sometimes the city driving, the way I drive, I actually get worse gas mileage than when I'm towing. The truck has 4,699 miles on it. Again, 4,699 miles. I haven't done an oil change yet. Need to. 4,681 of those miles is on one trip, and we've averaged 9.2 miles per gallon over 4,681 miles. And that is all that's our trip to Myrtle Beach. That's me drag racing it, running it around town, seeing what the top speed is, letting it idle in a parking lot, you know, forever. I mean, that kind of thing. It averages 9.2 miles per gallon, so that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. So we'll pick this up. We're going to McDonald's. We're actually driving a little bit out of our way because, of course, the campground's not open. And I'm sure they'll let us check in early. I don't know how early, but we're going to go to McDonald's, get some breakfast, and I already checked it out on the map. It's a big McDonald's. It's near a Pilot. It's near a Flying J. So we'll pull in the trucker camper area, get something to eat, and continue on to the campground. So we got here early. We went to McDonald's, and I'm not exactly sure how a McDonald's with a truck stop operates by having just the drive-thru open. As it's Sunday morning, there were 10 cars in line, and they politely told Heidi that she could go stand in line for the drive-thru. I told her, I said, you know what? That sounds so ridiculous. I was actually considering taking the truck and the RV through the drive-thru. Since they thought that it was okay, I figure why not? I'll just stay, you know, go around the stuff that's tall. So, getting back to the campground here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the map. We'll take a look here. Whatever you do, do not try to come down Mill Creek Road from 45. Skip it and go to this Eagleville Jefferson Road. I don't know if you're going to see this on the map, but they have warnings in their literature about this place, and they say there's a low bridge on this Mill Creek Road coming west. Well, the thing is I took Mill Creek Road west to get in here. What they're saying is you have to be on this S. Foreman, this whatever that it means, South Foreman Road. That you can travel west to get here. But you cannot, for whatever you don't, there's a low bridge, 10'8". Here's the funny thing. I have my information entered in this GPS. I have it shown that 11'2", and this still routed me down that road. It wanted me to turn on that road. We were coming down 45, which is also known as Center Road. We were coming from, like you guys most likely will be, 90. Up north of here, coming from either Cleveland or maybe Erie, which direction you're coming from, it all depends. But at 90 will tell you to get off at 45, which is the Center Road, and you'd be traveling south on Center Road, and it'll tell you to make a left onto Mill Creek Road. Don't do it. And you'll see a sign that says low bridge 10'8". Just turn off your left turn signal, go a little further, turn your turn signal back on, turn on to Eagleville Jefferson Road, and then you'll make a left onto South Foreman Road, and then you'll make a right onto Mill Creek Road again, and travel again, coming from the west, into the campground. There's no problem. There's nothing here. But yeah, maybe we'll go check out that low bridge at some point.
So what did they say?
She said to give her a minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, hell, we just got here. They just got here.
Yeah. She asked me if she could help me, and I said, oh, we're just seeing if we can check in early.
They're letting us check in early. I mean, it's 10. It's 2 hours prior to normal check-in. And she said if we wanted to, she gave us a choice of a couple of sites. She said, though, if we wanted to, we could choose the site that we had the last time. It's just she don't know if those people have left yet. I told Heidi, don't worry about it. We'll just pick a new site. And she gave us a choice of one that was inside of a loop and one that's outside the loop on the edge of some kind of foliage. I guess the lake is kind of there too, I'm sure. Oh, and by the way, she said it has you down here as a 50 amp. And Heidi says, well, we don't need 50 amp this time of year. And she goes, that's what I thought. She goes, well, we won't, we'll just set you up for a 30 amp site. So I got to get it back in and see why it said 50 amp, because I changed a lot of stuff. Even during the reservation, the online check-in, it asked if I had 50 amp and I put 30. I changed it to say 30. So I need to go in there and look to see why the system is still saying 50 amp. Oh, let me tell you something else too, guys, if I didn't clarify a little bit on this. Last night, whenever we got to the, let me turn this on because there's a bee. There's a bee. I'm allergic to bees. I'm not allergic to bees. Last night, I went ahead and fired up the generator. And Heidi says, what do I need to do to make the microwave come on? And I said, nothing. It's running. She goes, no, I don't have any lights on the microwave. And it's because I forgot I had that transformer all hooked up there with that power watchdog thing. And it was a red face, and it was not giving me any power because it wasn't enough. Yeah, you can't run those together. So I had to unplug them.
She said it'll be a few minutes.
Oh, cool.
She'll bring everything down to us.
Oh, she will?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So, number 5. Ain't no jive. Yeah. So, whenever you're running those autoformers with those power watchdogs, that's the whole reason that I have it set up inside, was kind of, a hiding thing for the most part. But also the reason I have it not hardwired is for the situation we ran into last night, just like I said. So all I did was unplug the autoformer and the power watchdog, and then take the plug that normally plugs into the power watchdog after the autoformer, and we just plugged that directly into the power source, which in this case was the generator. So we're definitely getting treated pretty well here. I'm happy about that. I like this. The first time, that's why we came here for these days, for as many days as we did, right? Last time we were here for one day, and I'm like, man, this place is nice. Mm-hmm. Everything about it looked really pleasant. It looks like a very nice place. And we only got to be here one day, so this time we're here for 4 days. Yeah.
4 nights.
Now, here's something that's kind of funny that I didn't realize about these systems. If I stay here, which I'm not sure exactly how that works, but if I stay at this campground for these 4 days, which we are, once we leave and go to the dealer and get the window fixed on the RV, I can't come back here for another 4 days. I have to be away from this park for 4 days. Which is weird, because why wouldn't I just make reservations then for every park for 28 days? And then I come here and then I just leave for the day and come back and then continue my stay. I mean, it's
you
really...
You probably do that.
You can. You have to notify...
Right.
If you take your unit off of the property, you have to notify them what's going on. And I'm sure they have no problem with you saying, hey, I have some service work that needs to be done on the rig. I will be back tonight. That kind of thing. So, yeah, I just thought that was kind of odd. But we need to get... After this, we're going to be heading back to our area. I mean, as it stands, even right now, poor Heidi's mom has got to run up to our house because we have a delivery that's dropped off on the porch. And she's got to make sure... I just tell her throw it in the house, but
That's if she can remember the code to get in.
yeah, yeah, that's funny. Okay, so the lady came down on her golf cart, and boy, she's a really nice lady. She's very pleasant. She had given us a choice. She also said we could have site number 29, which is on the lake. You know, all these sites that are on the lake, it's not like you can walk down to the lake necessarily. It's a drop off at a lot of these sites that go down to the lake. I asked her, I said, you know, does it really make a difference? And she says she actually prefers site number 5 over site number 29, which was our other option. She said, however, that the site number 5, the person's still there, and that, you know, they still may be there another hour. So I told her, I said, I'm not in a rush. We're not in a rush of any kind. And I said, I'll go ahead and just take site 5. You know, that'll work. If she thinks it's a better site, she likes it better, then I'll stick with site 5. Again, I like this park, just the feel of it. As soon as you pull in, you guys, if you want to come to this location, you'll get that same sense. Definitely, you'll get that same sense. I'm sure. It just feels like a campground that, you know, is kind of like a crowded loop in a state park, an Ohio State Park. That's what it reminds me of. It is a little bit tighter in some places, but it still reminds me of a state park atmosphere. This is a gem, that's for sure. All set up. Look at that view back there. Isn't that awesome? Oh man. So we waited, and the lady come by and said, hey, listen, another site came available. Do you want another site? And she goes, it's much better. I said, sure, let's try it out. And this is the one we got. The computer's all set up. It transported fine. One of the USB strips came off because the table had moved around. I'm sure I could fix that very easily. But as far as the laptop and the monitor, everything worked fine there. We transported perfectly. Yes, the links will be down below for these and the monitor if you guys are trying to duplicate the same setup. I didn't really do a review on it. It works very well. It's 1080 quality. It's real close. That's a 17-inch screen. This is a 15-inch screen. Anyways, it works real well. And of course, it's because I have it hooked up to a Thunderbolt port. I don't know that much about it. My son-in-law helped me out there. The internet works really well. The EasyComm. The WeBoost is doing a good job to give us a signal, because this is a no signal pretty much situation for us with T-Mobile. We don't have much for a signal, as you know from the last time we were here. Whoops, looks like I bumped this whenever I was screwing around trying to get that in there. I'm gonna have to fix that clip. So what happened here? Well, you can see the situation and the way that I have it all plugged in there. The plug coming out of the floor had to be unplugged and plugged into that socket, all with this slide in, which you could access it, but it's tight. So let's go outside here. Heidi just cooked us dinner, lunch. What was that, Heidi? Was that lunch or dinner? That was lunch. Oh, it's 2 o'clock, so that's lunch. Our site is awesome. Let's talk about the site first. You can't get to the water from here. You could probably from over there. That's a seasonal site. They give you a fire ring, and it's delightful. The whole site is pretty delightful. You like it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Heidi's getting ready to clean that grill, so start putting in the comments about the grill. You guys are going to have to pick it up, though. We're getting rid of it, like I mentioned. Oh, Heidi got our sign out there already. That's awesome. I think that these posts have lights on them. I know that they did down around that corner. That's where we were the first time. Real friendly people here. Oh, speaking of which, this guy here is Anthony, right? That was his name, Anthony?
Andy?
No, Anthony. Yeah. What a beautiful coach. That's a Ford V10 gas, not a pusher or puller. And look at the shine on it. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but that's a 2016. That thing is clean. So he's been a seasonal camper here on and off for the last 15 years. And anyways, he's leaving. He's heading out of here. And he's going to go put this in indoor storage like he does every year. He thinks he's trying to retire, I think he said, next year and start traveling. So he watches a lot of YouTubers, and I told him I would try to keep him up to date with what the campgrounds are like in Florida this winter, because he's thinking he might have to stay away from Florida, maybe go to Alabama. This site here, of course, once a trailer comes in, or RV comes in, it's going to take away from the site's appeal. But still very nice for the time being. And it is Sunday, so maybe nobody will come in. So as far as the site being level, it's extremely level. I was off a half of an inch from one side to the other. And once unhooked, the front end only had to come down 6 inches, 7 inches. Was that what it was? So one of the things that I'm having a problem with is I got some squeaking going on with my hitch, and I know everything's greased that's supposed to be greased, but for whatever reason it's still creaking. The antenna's up and the front of the RV is covered. Yeah, ugh, that's nasty. Now if you want to wash your RV, you can go to the office and get a permit. I'm sure it costs like $10, something like that. You can wash your RV, and that's what that guy's doing over there. He's washing his RV. But the site's plenty big enough as far as parking, backing in. One of these guys came over and was helping me out. And then you have this site here, which is 25. And you can see how much room we have here too. But yeah, the bugs are just incredible. I'm gonna have to wash all this off. Maybe we'll get some wasp or something in here that'll want to eat these. Then we got this big tree that Heidi wants to climb. Now, being a Thousand Trails park, it's got a lot of rules, just like anything else. And like I had mentioned, there's no clothesline. Don't be tying to a tree. Anthony had just stopped over and told us that once he leaves the site, that be more than welcome to go over there and hang out. And he's got a good view of the lake, which, I don't know. I like our view too.
Today's very, very nice.
Yeah, today,
Super nice.
I wouldn't leave Ohio if it was like this every day. But the leaves are telling me to run.
Yeah.
We're closing this out. I think we have enough footage for you guys, at least this first leg of things. And we'll cover the campground in more detail. I'll see if I can do a better job. But for you guys that'll get motion sickness, I want to do that 360 thing again, walking through the campground. It's probably the best way for us to give you the advantage of seeing a lot more without me pointing down a road at a site. It's that shotgun view that you get with a wide angle is great, but the 360 is even better. Don't get me wrong, there's disadvantages to those lenses. They're distorted. I mean, this lens right now is distorted, but you're seeing pretty much everything. Here, I'll show you what you would see if we want it. Nope, that's just a zoom. Here, let me change the angle on this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what we could film everything in, and you'll see how limited it is. First, we'll do this part of the room. You can see everything going on, because what we're saying is boring. I mean, I understand that. It's boring. So now you're looking like down at what's going on here and what's back there and what's out the window and stuff. So first we'll give you the normal action view here. Then we'll show you the normal action view shot out here, and just kind of do a pan real quick. Now I'll do that same stuff at a narrow angle.
I already don't.
Okay, so here's the narrow, here's the normal view. Like, I can't even keep us both in angle here, because the action part of things is the stabilizer is not understanding. It has less to work with. I mean, I'm stretching my arm out now just to give you this view. Okay, so you can see, look how limited it is. I mean, of course, it's more straight up and down. It gives you probably a closer to real life view. Let's go ahead and turn you around and show you that. So here's that same angle, and it works from a distance.
Yeah. But not
But
close.
you can't see the camp, the campsite close to me, and yeah, it's farther away. Yeah. All right, so that's it. We're closing it out. More to come. We'll be talking a little bit about some of the stuff that we have going on with the RV. And we don't know if it's like a problem or if it's just an observation. And maybe you guys can jump in on that and give us your thoughts. So stay tuned for the next one. We're going to give you some thoughts on the RV and some problems that we're having with the RV. And see if you guys have come across that. There's quite a few of you. And remember, spread the word to all your friends that are looking for a home. Ours is for sale.
As always, we hope to see you out here. Bye.